Have the rand trading 7.14, so more strength coming through. In fact, beating the 2.5-year highs that we hit last week of around 7.15 against the dollar.
Hi, good morning, Stephen. Yes, you're right. The rand opened much firmer this morning. We think it's due to the much better than expected inventory data out of the US on Friday, and then added to that an acceleration, it seems, in Chinese industrial production that came out, or news of it came out this morning. So it seems to be a really positive global environment, and the rand is obviously strengthened on the back of that.
Of course, it's not just a rand story. You've seen the euro firming slightly against the dollar as well, but also some of the other peer currencies. So we've had the Brazilian real, we've got the Aussie and New Zealand dollars strengthening as well, and also the Turkish lira.
Yes, absolutely, Stephen. We've seen most emerging markets rally this morning, and again, I think as every time that global growth risks seem to dissipate, we see emerging markets and commodity currencies come back into favor.
What data are we looking at this week that could influence the rand? Because of course, while we've reacted positively to those good numbers out on Friday, we could just as easily see a bad set of numbers sending everything backwards again.
Yes, absolutely, Stephen. I mean, it's a relatively quiet week ahead, apart from data out of the US. So we're expecting the rand, probably to trade quite stronger today. But the risk is that during the week in US data, that's industrial production, retail sales, weekly jobless claims. I mean, the risk is that all of those numbers disappoint, and then we have a spike in risk aversion and
How about here at home? I see we've got consumer confidence numbers coming out today. Nothing major on the calendar apart from that for the entire week. Is this a number that you'd be looking at that could help influence the rand?
Well, Stephen, it could influence the rand today if consumer confidence comes out much stronger than expected. Then that's going to boost. It's going to boost the implied growth prospects for South Africa, and we could probably see the rand strengthen further. But that will only know sort of when the data comes out.
Okay, well, despite the little bit of strength we've seen coming through for the currency, really, starting last week again, of course, with the MPC's decision to cut rates by 50 basis points only, are you still assuming that the rand is going to be resuming its negative bias going on towards the end of the year?
Stephen, we certainly see more rand weakness on the cards. We anticipate that the authorities are going to continue to accumulate reserves quite aggressively. We're also expecting that the current account is going to continue to widen from these levels. And of course, unless we see a massive pickup in growth, there's also the potential for another rate cut that I see some market participants are already starting to price in for November. So we still think that on balance, the factors are tilted towards rand weakness.